So we're gonna explore Turkmenistan today, and we're heading to our first stop, which is the museum. So it's quite beautiful to see all these buildings in the daytime. So we're gonna get coffee in a coffee shop, and this is like one of the least visited places in Turkmenistan that not many tour guides will bring their tourists to. But I'm very grateful my tour guide brought me here, because I'm gonna get coffee in the coffee shop right here, and then gonna energize myself before going on this whole day trip. Finally trying the coffee in the local coffee shop in Turkmenistan. Quite cool to do this, because like maybe never expected to do this in the tour. Yeah, so we're now in the museum in Turkmenistan to learn all about the history of Turkmenistan. So this is the current president of Turkmenistan, and a lot of artifacts right here. Yeah, so this right here is the first president of Turkmenistan, and this is the famous Rognama that's been translated into different languages such as English, Russian, and they have it in the official language of Turkmen. So yeah. So this is one of the biggest carpets made in Turkmenistan, or probably in the world. Is a gift for Turkmenbasi during the 5-year independence from the USSR. So yeah, there's many different carpets that you can see here in this part of the museum. We finished the museum tour, and then now according to the guide, this is used to be the world's tallest flagpole, but now it's the second or the third world's tallest flagpole. So now after the museum, we'll head to another site in Ashgabat, the monument that shows the first president of Turkmenistan, but unfortunately now they have some restoration work, so cannot go close, but looks very nice from this angle. So this is the old ancient Silk Road that is the roundabout in Turkmenistan. As you can see here, the people usually will turn around and then usually will go to maybe an important site or go back to the capital city of Ashgabat. Okay. So we're now in Old Nissa, and we're going for the guided tour. So it's quite nice. Old Nissa. Oh, sorry. So right now we're in the original Old Nissa, and you can see that they really preserve it really well, because we went to the museum earlier today, and you can see here we're in the Old Nissa, and it's a very good photo taking spot. Yeah.
This was actually one of the towers. Yeah, inside. 35 king. Yeah, and they started to live, and 500 years here was the parting. People lived here, and after 500 years, they took the Greeks culture also, you know, Hellenism culture. Yeah, after the Arabians, here was the Turkish tribes in 13th century. Also, they built this place, and at the end came the Russian Empire. They took first for Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. So clever, and the second is so comfortable. Meters go, maybe inside some room, but it's their cultures. Yeah, because of it's made inside. Yeah. One day we will excavate and we will see. Walking.
So we're now inside Old Nissa,
like,
and this is the King's Corridor. So it's actually quite good that they preserve it, so it can be a normal tourist site. So this is the narrow corridor. So as we go more deep, it gets a bit more narrower compared to the entrance of this Old Nissa.
Are still here, origin. We just covered to defend them. You know?
Yeah.
Temple of that time, of the main religion, Zoroaster. it was a temple, and I want to show you the picture. Next year, and the second year was unfortunate. We don't have the second year because after the earthquake, and the 5 meters, and on the second year there was a big gods. I mean the statues of the gods of that time. They finally finished this one, and they discovered. You see how much they dig, excavate to find to the meter that card as a tax. About meter that card, why they call meter that was the most powerful king of the party.
So we're almost done seeing Old Nissa. So this is like the inside of Old Nissa, and then now we're about to head out of Old Nissa and see other sites in Turkmenistan.
Ivory king's throne.
So this one is actually locked, so we're lucky today that the tour guide allowed us to enter this place in Old Nissa.
These
Oh, it's
jars
beautiful.
are original. Okay, we will start from this side.
We're now gonna eat the Turkmenistan pilaf, which is with beef, and then the traditional tea in Turkmenistan. It's gonna be a good lunch because I skipped my breakfast. Now there's Turkmen Coke, which looks like the original Coca-Cola. Let's see if it tastes like the original Coca-Cola. So we now made it to the Independence Monument of Turkmenistan in Ashgabat, and then in here you can see many famous statues and also trees. When some president visit this country, they will plant trees over here. So this monument is quite special. Here when we get closer to the Independence Monument, you see a lot of statues. They're like all the important people that make the history of Turkmenistan, and even poets. So we'll go further. The bottom of the Independence Monument, and you can see here a lot of Turkmenistan flag and important statues related to the history of Turkmenistan. So it's quite one of the most beautiful tourist attractions I've seen in my life so far. So yeah. So this is the other side of the Independence Monument, and you can see, if you look closely, there's 2 security guards standing there, but then you cannot take picture very closely. And right here is the Turkmenbashi statue, so we're walking there right now. We now made it to the Turkmenbashi statue in Turkmenistan. So he's the first president of Turkmenistan, and the statue looks really beautiful. It's like made of pure gold, and after you go to the statue you can see another city. Another part of Ashgabat, and you can see the guards in black color. And then we're heading to the next stop. This is the Ruknama. It's written by Turkmenbashi, the first president of Turkmenistan, and now they have a big monument of it here in Ashgabat, and you can see that they have a lot of flag of Turkmenistan surrounding this important monument. So yeah. So we made it to the second largest mosque in Central Asia, which is in Ashgabat. It's called the Turkmenbashi Mosque. So as you can see here, that it's quite big, but yeah. Unfortunately, we couldn't take pictures inside the inside the place where they buried the president of the first president of Turkmenistan, but then can't wait to see what the mosque looks like inside. So we're now inside the mosque of in Ashgabat, and the Turkmenbashi mosque is really beautiful. We're now leaving the Turkmenbashi mosque, and inside is really beautiful. And then now we're heading back to the city center. So it's quite nice because this mosque is actually quite far from the city of Ashgabat. Luckily my tour guide invited me to a special ceremony in Ashgabat, so you get to try the pilaf and soup, beef soup, and then it looks really cool.
Roughly how many cans do you use, sir?
Almost every country.
This is actually outside my hotel room, and yes, you can see Turkmenistan is actually quite cool, the capital city of Ashgabat. In the nighttime, it really reminds me of North Korea, although I have never been there. But then I think actually after heading to this city, I kind of want to go to North Korea now to see how is it different, because like every country is unique in each way. So in Turkmenistan, they have 8 channels dedicated to promoting the country, but at least there's some propaganda, but it's usually positive propaganda. But if you don't want to watch those, they have like other TV channels, so that's a good thing about this country. So we're gonna check out of this hotel and then head to the gas crate, which is a bit far, so it's gonna be like a 4-hour drive from Ashgabat to the gates of hell. So yeah. Yeah, so we're now leaving the hotel and heading to the bazaar, and after the bazaar we'll head to the gas crate. In a supermarket in Turkmenistan, it really feels like North Korea because you can hear the things, you can see the president's picture, but the price is actually quite expensive compared to other countries in Central Asia. Yeah, so we're now in the largest bazaar of Central Asia, which is in Turkmenistan, and this bazaar is quite big because you actually need a car to go around. See here, the bazaar is massive. You can buy like clothes, used cars, and even animals, and many people actually park their cars here. So yeah, I think it's very hard to go around this bazaar in one day. Trying the doner in Turkmenistan, and it's quite good, so yeah. So we're now heading to the gas crater, and it will be around maybe a 4 hours drive. So the first 2 hours is a bumpy road, and the last 2 hours of this journey will be a bumpy road. So I will get back to you when we reach the bumpy road part of this journey. So on our way to the gas crater or gates of hell, you can see that this highway feels like a desert. Very empty but very cool, because you can drive the car here at like 90 kilometers per hour. So now we're riding the bumpy part of the road from Ashgabat to the gates of hell or the gas crate, and you can see the car is quite bumpy. But it's not as bumpy as like in some countries like in maybe in India or in Pakistan or in maybe Africa. But here the roads are actually not that bad. So we finally made it to the gas crater or the gates of hell, one of the most famous tourist sites in Turkmenistan. As you can see here, it's quite it's quite amazing because it has been burning ever since the 1950s and didn't stop. So actually this has been made as an accident by one who dig oil and gas in Turkmenistan, but this accident become a famous tourist site. Right now we're staying in the yurts, the traditional kind of house in most of Central Asia, including Turkmenistan. And since they have it near the gates of hell, the tour package that I bought has it. So we're going in and we're gonna check it out. So inside the yurt they have like 4 beds, 1, 2, 3, 4. And a tent up here, but now more yurts are quite modern because they have the heating system inside that can keep the room warm. So yeah, quite excited because this yurt is more modern, I guess, and more, how do you say, warm compared to before. But yeah, quite excited to sleep in a yurt like this. So now we're gonna eat the Turkmen kebab. It's made in the charcoal while enjoying the sunset near the yurt. So this is a thing, experience not to miss in Turkmenistan. This is the grass crate or the gates of hell at night, and at nighttime it looks really beautiful. now leaving the gas crater and we're heading to the mud crater and the water crater, and then we'll head back to Ashgabat to do some sightseeing before we leave Ashgabat for another country. So quite excited for this day. It's quite a busy day of traveling, but yeah. We're now in the mud crater, and it's not as grand as the gas crater, but still have it's still worth to have a look at this this monument in Turkmenistan. Now made it to the water crates. Very interesting that actually they tried to drill this to make find gas, but unfortunately people died, according to the tour guide, when they tried to drill this hole for gas, but end up finding water. So as you see, it's green in color and it's quite deep. So we're now inside the Russian bazaar, and it looks like North Korean bazaar, but feels really cool. Yeah, Russian bazaar in Ashgabat. So we're now trying one of the national dish in Turkmenistan, which is called the dograma, which has bread and soup inside. So it looks very cool. So can't wait to try it. Yeah, and then we try another national dish in Turkmenistan, which is another soup, but this soup is different from dograma. We're going to ride the world's largest indoor Ferris wheel, which is in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. So can't wait for it. Inside the world's largest Ferris wheel, and from outside you can see the some landmarks in Turkmenistan. And then now we're gonna ride the world's biggest indoor Ferris wheel. Okay. We're now riding the world's largest indoor Ferris wheel, and you can see it's moving. And I'm here alone. My tour guide didn't come with me, so I had to come here myself. And yeah, we'll see the view at the top, what it looks like on the top. Yeah, so we're actually going to the top, and you can see a bit of outdoor and golden color symbol, which symbolizes Turkmenistan. So we now made it to onto the top of the Ferris wheel, and you can get a good bird's eye view of Ashgabat. But then it's quite strange because, you know, in the entire Ferris wheel, you're the only one that's riding it. So I guess you have this strange feeling when you're riding the Ferris wheel, because you're the only one out of riding around 30 cabins. You're the only one in one cabin. So it's quite scary, but at the same time it's quite exciting to have a feeling to see Ashgabat from this view. Going down, as you can see, when you go more down to the of the Ferris wheel, you can actually get a good view of the Constitution Monument of Turkmenistan. So I think the view from going down is much better than from going up. Made it to the earthquake memorial part in Ashgabat. So this one was like during the earthquake in 1948 in Turkmenistan. So they built a memorial park to commemorate those people who died. We made it to the earthquake memorial of 1948, and you can see it's like remember all the people that have died during this earthquake. So I think it's quite good, and you can actually get a good view of Ashgabat as well, but it's a bit cloudy today, so cannot see Ashgabat. So quite great to actually see this memorial.
Also banks.
Oh yeah, banks. Now we arrived to the wedding palace. It looks like a globe, but it's actually a place where people in Turkmenistan gets married. And here you can see the fake Burj Khalifa, but it's actually one of the most expensive hotels in Turkmenistan. So quite good to have this in your tour. Ashgabat looks like at night because today is a bit foggy, but then if it's very if the sky is very clear, you can actually see this is walking park, and that's the Constitution Monument, and this one is the Independence Monument, and yeah, and this is the residential area, so quite good. Yep. This is the Arkadog Monument, the last monument that we will see in our tour in Turkmenistan before leaving Turkmenistan for Pakistan. So quite good to actually see this. So yeah, before going to the hotel and taking my flight to leave Turkmenistan, my tour guide is very nice to actually let me try another local dish, which is pie and the black tea. So can't wait to try it. Now we're done checking in for our flight from Ashgabat to Istanbul and from Istanbul to Pakistan. So that's why I have 2 boarding passes right here. So now heading out of Ashgabat, quite sad and at the same time excited for the new country. But this airport reminds me of like maybe North Korea. Looks very cool. We now cleared the check-in and the immigration, and then after that, now we're walking to our gate. So we're gonna take the flight from Ashgabat to Istanbul. So it's pretty interesting that most gates in this airport are quite empty, as you can see here. But then only the one to Istanbul is quite full. We're now leaving Ashgabat, and you can see a lot of people are boarding the flight. So yeah, now I will head to head to Istanbul, and after that I'll get back to you. So see you in the next part of this vlog.